Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video we're back with the Scout NASCAR once again. I feel like I've been saying that so much, it's because I have been. But anyway, today we're going to be getting done some more stuff with this thing. I mean, it is honestly just a home stretch, but if you guys didn't see in last video, we went ahead and did the dual carburetor swap of this thing. And we actually got this thing running on 4 cylinders, what seems like the first time, because I never heard it spring to life like that, really. So far, everything seems to be working with that, but today we're going to be hooking up the new throttle cables that I got to the 2 carburetors and see if I could get them to be as equal as possible, maybe do some tuning with them, and see how it does, you know, other than idling. And I know a lot of you guys were nervous about cylinders 1 and 4 not getting any fuel. And I know what you mean. I'm just going to test it like this for now. I'm going to keep my eye on the spark plugs and see exactly how they're changing. Like if the end ones start to turn white, that means that they're being too lean. And if the 2 middle ones are getting too much fuel, then they'll be super black. So once this thing is ran for a little bit, then I'm definitely going to check them. But if it is running weird while it's doing that, then we could go ahead and maybe do like a Y setup just to kind of disperse the air-fuel mixture more evenly between the cylinders. And alongside that, we're also going to be getting done some more stuff in this video that we'll just figure it out as we do along the way. And then there's one more thing that I want to show you guys before we begin. So I was just messing around with this before and I got it to work. But if you guys remember when we took this thing on the first test drive, basically when I just idled around the backyard and felt it out, see how it was moving for the first time under its own power with the new engine, I had the clutch lever mounted to the steering wheel with a whole ton of nuts because the slack from the clutch was insane. So what I did to kind of evenly disperse that extra slack is I basically got a longer bolt that I had for the little clutch arm that holds the cable, and I spaced it with spacers and washers, tightened it down, adjusted it with the little nuts on the cable itself, and then over here we have no slack whatsoever. Everything is working perfect on it. This won't fall out or anything like it does before. It's nice and tight in the little like barrel adjuster. So now we just need to find a place to mount it, and I want to do this, and we're going to try and make it work with this with a couple things that we'll get to once we get to that step. But first off, I want to do the throttle cables. So what I need to do is take out the old throttle cable, and it's only set up for one cable, obviously. So I need to make a new fitting right under there. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it. I'm going to have to drill a new one, probably right below it, and then drill another slot for a cable on this little arm. I'm going to try my best with this. I never have luck with throttle cables or any cable, so hopefully I don't snap a ton. But anyway, that's enough chit chat. Let's get started. So guys, I just finished up doing the first throttle cable. Not gonna lie, it was a freaking pain in the neck, but I got it done, and I'm not gonna bother to go ahead and record the second one because I don't want to bore you all. But what I did for the front is I cut off, well, I'll just show you on the new one. I cut off that little barrel end right there, just because I'm not gonna go into a full explanation about it, but that's what I had to do in order to get the inner wire out of the little outside. And then what I did to replace it is I got some of these little replacement barrel ends, and so far it seems to be working good. I did have an issue with the throttle like hanging up and getting stuck, you know, kind of high up, like quarter throttle, but I got that all dialed in. We have full throttle, goes all the way back down to closed throttle plate. So with that being said, let me just crank out the next one and then we can move on. So guys, I kid you not, it is probably like 2 hours later from the last clip, and I've been going back and forth. constantly changing the throttle positions, and I finally got them both even. Now, I do not have full throttle, which I'm totally fine with as of right now, but I have like 75% throttle, and I don't think I've ever opened the throttle higher than that, even on the old carburetors. I just need a little bit more pedal movement. I'm gonna figure that out, but I really do not want to touch these positions at all of how I have the throttles all tuned up. So what I've been doing basically is just taking this bungee cord, holding the engine wide open like that, and then if you come back here, the throttle plates are like 75% open, but they're both pretty even, and then once I let go, they both go down to the same idling position. Just like that. So with that being said, I do kind of want to test this out. I've been working at this for a while. I want to see if it works. I want to hear if they're truly in sync. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to open up the doors, put on the fan, and just fire this thing up real quick, and I guess see if this will rev at all. So guys, that sounded so good. But as you guys saw, it filled up the fumes in there quick. Smell of gas in there is insane. So once again, like last video, I'm gonna let it air out. But that was, I was like about to cry, I don't know why. But like, just to hear the engine, that literally felt so smooth. Everything felt so perfect. I definitely gotta lower down the idle a little bit, but revving it up, holy cow, that was perfect. That was the first time that engine has ever been probably above 3,000 RPM since 1999, somewhere around there. So that's just crazy. I wasn't expecting it to like rev up like that quick. I thought it was gonna maybe bog a little, or you know, at least show any signs of low power, but whew, that did not. So I'm back in the shed, it is all aired out, and next up what I want to do is get this clutch lever all mounted up and try and stiffen up the shifter, even just a little bit. So what I did is earlier I went to the store and got some steel tubing, and this steel tubing fits perfectly around the clutch lever. So this is what the clutch lever is going to mount onto. So I'm going to use that flat bar to reinforce this shifting line to keep everything super tight and, you know, stop everything from flexing. And then along with that, the flat bar is also going to be reinforcing the tube where the clutch lever is going to be on against the shifting line. This shifter does move, you know, everything pretty nicely, so I definitely don't want to get rid of it. It's bent all exactly how it needs to be. So let's get started on this right now. So guys, it is actually the next day. As you guys can tell, it is bright out. Last night it was dark because it was night. I went ahead and just brought out the NASKART just because I'm going to be doing a decent amount of welding, and those fumes really are not good for you at all. And I'm going to bring it out here. It's a nice night. Get some airflow going on just so it doesn't build up in here. I do wear a respirator, but still, I feel like sometimes it sneaks in under my mask. I already brought the welder out here on the cart, so I'm pretty much all set up to go. Let's try and get the shifter to get the clutch cable all mounted up on it and become a lot stronger. So guys, I'm back inside. It's pitch black out right now. It gets dark at like 4:45 now, so that kind of sucks. But I finished the shifter, luckily. Everything came out really good on it. And once again, for some of you new viewers, I'm not a great welder. I'm fairly new to welding. I'm using a Harbor Freight welder, but doing what I can. But I definitely think I'm getting a little bit better than how I was. Definitely laying down some stronger welds. But the lever is feeling really good. This is feeling nice and strong and everything. And once I go ahead and clean up this whole cart, clean up the engine, repaint it, I am going to be painting all of this bare metal type stuff. So don't worry about it looking all bare metal like, because once water hits that, it's just gonna rust. So definitely gotta keep everything painted, and then I'm probably gonna add like a little rubber top on this just so I don't like cut my hand or anything like that, or I can like rest my hand on it without getting scratched up. So lately this fuel pump has been acting really finicky lately, and it really hasn't been working at all. I try and turn it on and there's nothing. And sometimes what I do when it's not working is I'll wiggle the wires over here and it'll kick on, or if I like kind of tap the fuel pump, it'll kick on. But something definitely isn't right, because right now it is not turning on at all. And no, the battery is not dead. I can turn over the engine completely fine. So what I'm going to do is disconnect from the wires that connect to the battery, unbolt it from the little platform that it's on, and inspect the wires, maybe like directly mounted to the battery, and see if it kicks on then. Then if it does, then it's definitely a wiring issue. But if it doesn't, then there's something wrong with the pump. So I just took out the pump, and first off I'm just going to start off by giving it direct power so we know that there is a charge going towards it. It is not working. So we got an issue with the pump. So I'm thinking that it's something inside of the pump, like right where these wires are, because whenever it wouldn't work before, I would just kind of like wiggle this around and it would work. And I do kind of see some moisture coming out of here, so I don't know if maybe gas got down in there and ruined the connection or something. But I'm going to go ahead and pull out this little rubber insulator part and see what's going on. So I just got done messing around inside of the fuel pump, and I just kind of tugged on these wires a little bit, made sure that they are still in there, and they are indeed still in there. I mean, they did feel a little bit loose, so I kind of pushed them in a little bit. I blew some air in there if there was anything that was in there. And just now I just went to test it, and it is now working really good. The moment I touch it, it turns right on, so I'm just going to try and put it back in. Definitely make sure that these wires are like not all crunched up and everything. Make sure that they're nice and together, because before they were all twisted up inside of here. And then we should be back in business. Alright, so I just finished up re-crimping everything and bolting back up the fuel pump. Everything's, connected to the battery, so now I want to go ahead and switch the switch and hope that this works. Woo! Let's go! Fuel is flowing. We are good. So guys, unfortunately I'm going to be needing to end off working for today here. I was really hoping just to get like a little bit more done, but it got dark really quick. It is freezing out here. And unfortunately, I just do not have enough time to really get stuff done tomorrow, because if you guys remember that test I was telling you guys about to become a Class A firefighter, right now I'm just a probie. My page is right there. But the big test is on Saturday, but tomorrow I have a test about hazmat, and I need to study for both tests so I can pass that and get the stress off my shoulders. I definitely want to try and focus on that test, but also get some content out for you guys while I'm at it. But hopefully after Saturday, once I'm done with that test, all that stress will be lifted off and I can get done a ton more videos. If it didn't get so dark out so quick, I actually started to do the second engine mount for this side. Got a new bolt for it, put it in, and I actually have the rod right there that I'm going to use to mount it up as the third engine mount for this. Right now it's already solid how it is, just based on how it was running, but can never have too many, and I'm probably going to add more, to be honest. But anyway, I'm going to be ending off this video here. Hearing this thing crank to life and rev up like that for the first time pretty much ever was just amazing. It was such an amazing feeling to hear that engine come to life. And almost all of you guys in the last video said that the air pod filters for this will work perfectly fine. I won't have to get an air box, so I'm going to go ahead and order those tonight, and hopefully have those in within the next couple days. But I mean, as it is right now, this thing's pretty much drivable. But anyway, follow my social medias. They'll be on the outro of this video. Instagram, Snapchat, I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.